What's up, my good people? So welcome back to Nyaga Wines. I know last time I called myself John Kihara Nyaga, but as we move on my next episodes, we're gonna talk about why my name has changed to Nyaga Wines, and that is in relationship with what I do, what I've been doing for the past like 3 years. So, but yeah. And so how have you been, guys? I hope you've been good, you have subscribed, and thank you guys for those who subscribed to my channel. Thanks to all those who viewed my videos. It was such a grateful moment, and I appreciate everything. Okay, so yeah, so speaking about, on my last episode we talked about my journey at a falling land, but as I can recall, I didn't finish the story. So there was a point that I left it at, and I promised you guys I'll come back and tell you the reason why, and the reason, let's say, what happened after I lost that job. To know about it, you have to watch at my previous episode, which is my first episode on my journey at a falling land. So yeah, so the company closes, and if your guess is right, I know most of you will think that now that the company closed, what happened? You're curious about that. But what happened is, since I was working in a hotel, and it was like a modern Lebanese kind of cuisine. So it's a cuisine from Lebanon, but they modernized it. So, and they called it Zahira. Zahira in Arabic, I think it means a blossoming flower or something like this. So that was the name of the restaurant. So this restaurant closes, and since I was a food runner, you can imagine there was a whole of hierarchy above me: superiors, waiters, head waiters, managers, great chefs, head chefs, executive chefs, celebrity chefs. All were, it was a company with a lot of expectation, with a lot of hope that it would excel. So yeah, the restaurant closes, and to your doubt or to your guess, I was the first person to be called to the HR office. And guess what happened? Wow. I was offered 2 letters, and one letter was a redundancy letter, and the second letter was an offer letter. So redundancy letter meant it was stating that the restaurant has closed and they don't need my services anymore. And since that was the case, what happened is they offered me an offer letter to be a waiter. I was promoted actually to be a waiter in the main restaurant of the hotel. Okay, so, and then part of the group that was managing the restaurant I was working, they had another Indian restaurant. So I was offered 2 chances: to be in an Indian restaurant and to continue being a food runner and get more salary. I think it was, we added like 300 plus above, and or to work in the main restaurant, be promoted to be a waiter, or work in the main restaurant as a waiter and be added a 50 dirham salary on top of what I had. That was a great dilemma. It was like, should I go for money or should I go for position? But I was given like a week to decide, and I had to look at all my options. What do I gain on both of them, and what is the benefit of each of what was offered to me? And after 1 week, I decided to take the position of a waiter. I think, as I said before earlier on my last episode, you tend to do, when you're food runner, when you're in this position, you tend to do the same thing all the time, running food. It's boring for me. I don't like to get stuck on doing the same things all the time. I get to explore. I get to decide, what do I want to do? Do I want to still do the same thing? I hope this changes your life also, because you don't have to get stuck doing the same thing all the time. You can change your environment, you can change the way you do things, you can change a lot whole of things that are associated with your life. Okay? And so what happened is, I took the waiter job with 50 dirham extra. And yeah, it was a journey that it was greater, because I continued. I worked for that hotel, I think, for 2 years. And I worked until I was a senior waiter for that restaurant. I had known all part of, and during my, this time I was working in this main restaurant, I cross-trained a lot. I actually did an extra education or an extra training on English. That was an ad for me. I also cross-trained to be a bartender for 6 months. You can imagine that. It was also an ad for me. And I learned a lot about beverages and everything. So for those, for that point of me choosing to be a waiter and leaving the other job, I felt like it was positive for me, because I learned a lot for the for the rest of the time I was in that hotel. I became a bartender for 6 months. I was a waiter. I knew a lot of stuff regarding the service and everything. I learned how to be more confident in speaking English and everything, all that, for like 8 months. And lucky me, we did an exam on all these tests of cross training and English training and beverage training, and most of them I was a winner. I actually became an employee of months for, I think, 2 or 3 times, if I can recall. It's 2017, around 2017, 2018. So it's been long since we are 2023. So what I wanted to tell you is, you have to work hard. First of all, you have to make sure that, you decide what you want to do with your life, and trust only your mind and your heart. Those two things, they have to be aligned. You cannot leave the other and believe on the other, they have to be together. And so after those 2 years in this amazing, beautiful hotel, one of my floor manager before, I won't mention the name here, texted me. Actually, we were talking on Facebook, like on Messenger, and he asked me if I would like to join him in a new concept. I think this concept had started 6 months since the time we were talking. And he told me I can go and try, and if I like the cuisine, if I like the job, then we will proceed with the procedure of getting hired and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, that's how it got me a new job. Now, as a food runner again, but in a cuisine restaurant, in a Greek Mediterranean restaurant. You cannot imagine how grateful I am, with more money, with more experience. And now for me was to improve on what I knew and learn more stuff. So here, it's a long story, and the reason I'm giving you all these stories is to tell you that to get where you want to be, or to get where you are, there's a lot of obstacles, there's a lot of learning, there's a lot of humility. You have to be patient with yourself. You cannot just wake up and want to have something, You have to work for it. You have to respect yourself. You have to learn to work with people, because these people are the ones that maybe at one point of a time they will uplift you, or you will help them also, So, and me being the reason I call myself Nyaga Wines, that's where it started. This is the place it started, because I worked as a food runner, I worked as a waiter in this restaurant, I worked almost to be a head waiter, and then I decided to be a junior sommelier. A junior sommelier, we will talk about this on the next episode, or why I became a sommelier and not a bartender as per my previous training in the hotel, why I love wines, why I decided to be on wines, what are the obstacles, what did I pass through, or how did I get to learn about this beautiful art called wine. Wine is love. Until now, I love wine. I've learned a lot about wine. You can imagine since around 2019 until Corona came, I was a junior sommelier. Until now, I'm a sommelier. I only do wine, no food, but of course I have to learn about food pairing and all sorts. As a sommelier, you have to work hand in hand with chefs, with food menus. You have to know what to pair with what, at which wine to pair with which food, and what are the consequences, what are the benefits, what are the improvements. I have learned all this. You'll get to know as we continue on my next episodes. So yeah, my point of these videos is to offer an advice of life. It's not about the story I'm giving. It's about, for those who know me back then, if you are listening to this video, if you know me, if we learned together, if we went to the same school, you know me very well. I want to tell you, things are not as they seem, but you can make your way through. I'm not saying I'm at that point that I'm successful or anything, but I want to tell you that with resilience, with tolerance, with humility, with learning, with looking to people who can help you, you can be someone. And remember, experience can never be bought. Once you learn something, no one can take that from you. So please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. And if you like, you can share with your friends. And yeah, until the next episode, I'm your boy Nyaga Wines 101. I deal with wines. On my Instagram, you can find me at Nyaga Wines 101. On YouTube, as we are talking now, I'm Nyaga Wines. And yeah, that's I know it's not a detailed story, but I think I gave you the story, or the message I wanted to deliver to you, my listeners, my viewers. It came to light. Thank you for watching. Up to the next. Thank you.